Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are and whenever you are. Thank you for joining me. My name is Chuck Tomasi from ServiceNow, and I am here with another episode of the Community Live Stream. This is Wednesday, April 18th, 2018. I believe it's the 18th. Let me check. Yep, still the 18th. Okay, want to make sure I got the right date so I can label this appropriately. I'm glad you joined me. My job here today is to go through the community that you see behind me. This is our online community at ServiceNow, and address questions, issues you have that other people have come up with, and turn it into a learning experience. Share not only what the answer is, but how I get to that answer. You can post your questions at community.servicenow.com and join us live on YouTube. If you subscribe to the channel, we are there every weekday, except yesterday when I had an internet outage, which was unfortunate. I woke up and said, hey, I've got no internet, which made it very, very difficult to bring you this stream. By the time everything was sorted out, the time had passed and I needed to move on with other projects that needed doing today. I had somebody coming from out of town where we were working on some content for CreatorCon, which is coming up very soon. I'll tell you more about that. I am just verifying that the YouTube stream is working. We have... I can't verify that's working at all. I've got Monday's stream. I see Twitch is working. Let's talk about that as well while we still sort out what's going on with YouTube. The Twitch stream, of course, is twitch.tv/NOWCommunity. Look forward to seeing you there. If you're joining us live online, thank you again. Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. UTC. That's what I'm going with. That's the time we're going to broadcast this. Make sure the audio is working. The video is streaming. Things look pretty good on this end. I think we're just about ready to go after I give you a quick mention to the developer site. If you are new to ServiceNow or an experienced person in ServiceNow, you might enjoy going over to developer.servicenow. Get a free personal developer instance. This is a fully fleshed out instance of ServiceNow with all the bells and whistles and trimmings, and even some things that you would normally pay for in your organization are available to you as plugins to try. You can enable those, like orchestration, for example, and try it out. See what's happening. Learn a little bit about it. Maybe do a proof of concept. Maybe do a demo for your organization. And if things go sideways, you can always wipe the instance and go back. It's a great way to do a sandbox for your organization or personal learning adventure. We have learning plans over at developer.servicenow.com where you can go and learn your way through things. There is the full array of scripting APIs that you'll need for both client-side and server-side, and just a lot of stuff to learn. We also have all of the meetups that are coming up in the next, several weeks, quarters. Developer meetups all around the globe. If there isn't a developer meetup in your area, I encourage you to check the calendar. If there isn't one in your area, go and let us know. Maybe you get to start one. We'd be happy to help you with that. One more check on YouTube. Let me see if maybe YouTube is just having an issue. Do a page refresh on that. And yes, we have a live stream. It's finally showing up for me. And there's the alert on my watch. It says the community live stream is live. We've got a few people watching. Good morning, Carolyn. Good to see you as always. We have a regular crew that joins us, and we'll see how they get along with that. Let's go back to, let's put the title away and get to work on the community. I do have a few things to follow up from yesterday as well as today. So we'll get to those links in just a little bit, but I like to start with the new content at the top of the show. Find out what's new, what's come in, and where we can help. I am at, again, community.servicenow.com. If you've got a question, please post it in the community so that we get more eyeballs on it and it gets in the appropriate category. My specialty is in custom applications, integrations, and the platform in general. I don't claim to know everything about the platform, and anyone who does is lying to you. So put it in here and we'll get a good spread of expertise that can help you. Subject matter experts that know their stuff, or other people who have had a similar experience can contribute to that as well. And that's how we all learn and grow and share, and that's what makes this the best community anywhere. That was almost poetic, wasn't it? So let's go into, I'd like to start with unreplied and see what's new. Here's one in Microsoft VSTS integration with using OAuth. It's an integration question. I'm not sure what VSTS is. And OAuth, I think I've said this before. OAuth to me is much like, I'm going to close an ad here. It's on the other screen. It's obscuring my view. OAuth is like fitting doors on your house. Yes, there's standards, 32-inch, 34-inch. There's certain widths of doors, and some even come pre-hung with the hinges and the frame and the door all attached. That doesn't mean you could just simply nail it up there and you're ready to go. OAuth needs some finesse. It needs some shims. It needs some, you need to understand what the scopes are. It may be a standard, but it is it's almost like RS-232. Remember that when you had to hook up serial ports? If any of you are old enough to remember that, oh sure, they were all DB25 connectors, and most likely pins 2, 3, and 7 were transmit, receive, and ground, but anything else was Wild West, whether you were using clear to send and DTE and RTS, and well, it was craziness after that. So anyway, back to OAuth. You may have to do a little digging, and you may have to do quite a bit of experimentation. It really depends on what Microsoft VSTS says for your integration that you're going to need. Okay, interested in major issue management? Become designing partner. Major issue management, customer service management is one of our products in the platform. That it seems like it took longer than I would have expected for customer service management to be added to the platform. It always seemed to me when I was a customer some 10 years ago that it was a natural fit. If I'm using ITSM for my internal customers, why couldn't I set this up and service my external customers as well? Well, now we have that with customer service management. It's a little bit different beast, of course. Hiding field on catalog task based on catalog item. Let's see if we can help with that. I'm going to open that in a new tab. Just open up a few new tabs. Escape sequence string.replace issue. Take a look at that. How do I authenticate to taxi discovery service endpoint? That's a good question. It's under security operations, which I assume is what taxi is all about. Make sure if you do post something in the community that you get it into the right forum so that the right people can see it. If it is a security question, put it in security operations. If it's an ITOM question, make sure it gets in the appropriate ITOM place. We have different forums underneath the community software to make sure that it's categorized and organized and seen by these people. You can subscribe to any one of these spaces, these forums, that they would get notifications on. Particularly important if you've got a question about your personal developer instance that you got over on developer.servicenow.com. Did it ding? Hey, I think we may have lost. I didn't accidentally hit the mute button. Hold on. Okay, that's playing. Okay, it dinged. I'm just not hearing it all that well. I don't have my headphones on. Anyway, if you've got a personal developer issue, go to the instance help section, and there are people there that are monitoring that. Okay, boilerplate stuff pretty much out of the way. Have they released the Knowledge 18 app? Not yet. It's coming soon. Coming soon. In fact, I'm going to answer that one first. That one is just looking to see if the Knowledge 18 app is released yet. I assume you're talking about the mobile app. I assume you are talking about the mobile app. Being close to the group that does that, I can say not yet. Soon. Be patient. An announcement will be made. Thanks. That question comes up almost on a daily basis right now from somebody or other internally. Have they addressed it? We are reviewing the content that goes into that app right now. We want to make sure that it is clear, it's not overly wordy, that it makes sense and organized. It's one of these conference apps that you've probably seen before if you've attended conferences. It's a framework that you can put your own content into. It's not an app that we wrote specifically. That's not a scalable and economical solution anymore. For most conferences, you have the same events, schedules, speakers, maps. It's kind of the same layout. So there are companies that specialize in event app software. Escape sequence, string replacing issue. I'm facing an issue when using string.replace after upgrading to Kingston. The function is, and he says his escape value is txt.replace ampersand g with ampersand. Let's replace backslash quote with backslash quote. What is single quote with, oh, I'm using the above code to remove escape sequences. Until Jakarta is working fine, but after upgrading to Kingston, it was throwing an error like the choice Java method string replace matching JavaScript argument types is ambiguous. Did anyone facing the issue? It may be that you have to use 2 backslashes to represent the first backslash. Have you tried that? That would be my first suggestion. Have you tried using 2 backslashes to represent the backslash? E.g., let me get one of his examples up here. I generally don't do replaces like this. I usually use... the other would be to use, or a regex. Just chaining these all together to say get rid of the backslash just seems a little... Let me unbold that. The other thing I would suggest, if you're just looking to remove backslashes, that's a little small. I'm going to make that a little bigger for you. If you are just removing backslashes, is use regex to do it for you. Should be easy enough to construct and a lot easier to read. Okay, we get another reply. My headphone volume's low? I'm not sure why that seemed so low. We'll find out. All right, good morning to you. If you're watching, this is the community live stream. If you're just joining us, let me know who you are, where you're from, how's the weather. Throw that in the YouTube or the Twitch community. Love to find out more about the viewers and get together with you at some point, either through a developer meetup, knowledge, or maybe even personal travel. Who knows what's happening? Hiding field on catalog task based on the catalog item. Hi all. We have a requirement to hide certain fields on catalog task based on catalog item. Hide certain fields on the catalog task. I want to achieve it using script. Any solution would be appreciated. Shouldn't need script for this. You might be able to do this with a UI policy. That would be my first, I hate reply. Something up with that. First tip. Here. I recommend trying this with a UI policy before going to script. Best practice suggests anytime you, I'm going to dictate the rest. This is getting annoying. Need to do an operation like hiding and showing fields, you can use a UI policy, which can be done with no script. Period. Close enough. A UR policy. How about a UI policy? I'm going to have to enunciate that a little bit better. Use the condition builder. Could be challenging because you may need to dot walk to the field. I would try it first with the UI policy. To tell it when to trigger. And the UI actions related list. It's the UI policy actions. UI policy actions related list to tell it what to do when the condition is met. And let's go get, for helpfulness, let's go to the doc site and get a page on UI policies. There we are. Easy enough. A little bit of a latency with the screen this morning. Hiding, showing, hiding, that one. And let's put in the link there. Good morning, Felipe. Happy Wednesday to you, or some people call it here hump day, because you're right in the middle of the week. You're getting over the hump. Another reply. We get the bell for that. Felipe likes the auto typing. The dictation works to some degree. It means I have to think through my thoughts before I say them. When I'm typing, I can always say, no, let's take that out, or let's leave that in. It's a little harder when you're dictating for whatever reason. It sounds more staggered and stuttered. You have to enunciate, and it doesn't pick up on a lot of these terms. You saw what it did to UI policy. It was UR policy, as Y-O-U-A-R-E. I think our favorite so far was when I said performance issues, it said perform, what was it, performance on shoes or something like that. That wasn't so much a technical thing, but probably an enunciation thing that I had messed up. Refresh the inbox, see if there's anything new in there since we started. Yes, we have a couple of things. Let's take care of those. How do I manage what notifications preferences people see? This was edited and answered several months ago, but there is a new life to this thread. Let me scroll down to the accepted solution, past that. And we get, I'm going to hit the show all replies. It was in here somewhere. Somebody had posted it's going to be, I'm not sure where the new reply is. 2 hours ago, you can make some modifications to notification preferences HAC. They were saying probably need to go into the script include and modify some JSON. There is some mention in here about UI 15. And there's the reply from today. I'm curious what modification you made to only return notifications received by user. So the notification preferences are all stacked up, and there's quite a few of them, and they wanted to control which ones are seen. So interesting thread if you want to jump into that one. There's another one in here. Is the project status report editable? This came in this morning. And it came into the IT business management. I don't know why. I just decided to jump into that one. It is not my specialty, but it never hurts to look at questions either from a learning standpoint and say, that's curious. I want to learn more. Or maybe I can help because this could be something as simple as a UI policy and this person doesn't know about it. You got to remember that some of these things that developers know aren't known to other people. I was teaching a course, probably 18 months ago. And a lady from HR said, is there a way to put a subcategory onto category in HR? And it never dawned on me. This is completely standard stuff with an incident. And I showed her how to make a second field and make it dependent on the first and add those choices. She says, oh, that's amazing. That's going to save all kinds of problems when this comes up all the time when questions are talking, or when customers are talking to us. And I just went, wow, okay. You never know what's going to excite somebody, especially if they're not in a developer area, is share that information. It may seem straightforward, and I've been doing this for a long, long time, but not everybody knows everything. I am first one to admit that. I've been dabbling a lot with Arduinos lately, and I am just getting started, and it can be challenging. But there are forums out there, there are videos, there are people that are willing to help, and it's a very exciting time to be alive when we have this level of information exchange going on, that you can really find almost anything you're looking for, and I'm here to help you with that as well. So it came up, and I said, it was interesting because the thread said, I've been looking for a way to do this. Oh, this is not the answer, the question I was looking for. I think they marked the answer correct, but it was somebody else's. I thought it was mine. They said, I've been looking for this for hours, and I went and found the page in just a few minutes and said, well, this might help. There's a page out on the docs site, docs.servicenow.com, called configure the portal status, the project status portal. That's interesting to see. Came along later and said, I have had to do this. Not sure if the above answer is already what you got. Go to spcolumn.list, filter for the project status report, and find row 4, open up the record, both of those widgets. So we are modifying the status portal again. This gave some explicit instructions on how to do that. Very good. So again, just this is more of a service portal question that relates back into the project status portal in ITBM. So very, very fun stuff. Let's go back to the new questions. I'll take a couple more of these, see what we can do with those. Give a quick refresh. If I refresh the whole page, I'm going to lose my unreplied thing, so I will just click unreplied once, see what comes back. Need to copy attachment from incident table to sys email table. Okay. That would involve the glide sys attachment copy attachment. I have a business rule, as shown in the image, and the code is move attachments. So it goes into the glide sys attachment table, does a query to say, what is your table sys ID? Ooh, we're also going to need the table. Okay, we're missing something. It will find the sys ID, but you should also be using the table name. And then for each record that it finds, make the table name sys and the sys ID current.sys ID. Well, you're not really changing anything because that's the sys ID already. It's not working any help. I want to move the attachments. Now, sys email is your outgoing. What is the ultimate goal? Why are we moving the attachments? I'm not clear about that. What is the value of attaching them to sys email? Before I jump into this, what is the ultimate goal? What is the business requirement for moving these attachments from incident to sys email? That is where they're going, right? Yeah, incident table to sys email. Yeah, that's my first question, is what are we trying to do here? Why are we moving that? Sys email table, if you don't know, is the table that's used for managing the incoming and outgoing email. We could get there from sysemail.list up here. Slow browser, take a drink. Some nice herbal tea in the morning. And it says, these are the ones that are sent. These are coming in. It's really just the master list of when you go to system mailboxes, where you've got inbox points to sys email, junk points to sys email, outbox points to sys email. This is the clearinghouse of incoming and outgoing mail. Not sure what the value of having an attachment on there. It'd be interesting to see if there are any records in there right now in sys attachment that are involved with that. This is my demo instance, so I don't even know if I've emailed any attachments. Let's go to sys attachments.list, and let's look for anything with the table name that contains sys email. The answer is no. So let's see if we can figure out why they need that. I'm going to do another quick user slowness due to live profile messages. Is there a way to report the usage of case incident, the usage of incident/case creation templates? This comes up from time to time, and I have seen answers to this. I think we were just talking about this last week. I'm unable to find info on how to report the total count of use by templates for ticket creation. And I would say this comes up from time to time. And the best solution that I have seen yet is to add, doing great on the typing today, a U_template field to the sys template table. Make this a reference to sys template. When you create a template, now, let's see, will that tell you? Yeah, you'd also have to, you would also need to add this field to the target table. E.g. incident or case. So when the template is applied, you are copying over the template used. Now you can report on incidents created, incidents, use it with the value where template is, I don't know, password reset, for example. Doing it retroactively, no. That one's not going to work. That is a new thread which says there is something in the mailbox. I should play the mail music. I do have some mail music. I use it on one of my other podcasts. Well, it says there's one. Clicking on one brought me to the same page. And the browser says, well, you're already on that page, so I'm not going to reload it. Hiding field on catalog test based on catalog item. A response. This is where I said, you might want to use the UI policy. Was that 12 minutes ago already? Wow, time is going by fast. Or I'm a really slow typer. You people are saints for watching this because it seems like it's going very fast. Jay Freeze, my motto is, every day I learn how much I don't know. It's a learning opportunity. Every day. Jay's only on for a bit. Hope that things are warming up in Chicago. I looked at the forecast for other areas of the Midwest. It is supposed to be warming up later in the week, so hopefully all that snow you got will disappear quickly. Best of luck to you. Let's see. Hiding fields. What was the response to using a UI policy? Follow-up to another follow-up. On catalog task, configure the form and use .walking and add the item field on catalog task. Okay. You could add the item. Yes, very easy. And based on this field, you can hide and show the field using a UI policy. That is exactly what I wanted them to do. Because UI policies and client scripts won't work unless whatever you're looking for is on that form. Keep that in mind. I had to learn that the hard way. My UI policy wasn't working. It's because it says, hey, if this field changes, or if this field, it's not on the form. If you didn't put it on the form, it's not sent to the browser, and that's where client scripts and UI policies happen. It seemed obvious once I looked at it and went, oh, well, of course. Now, if you send it to the browser, but you don't want it shown, but you still want it available for UI policies, you could use a UI policy to hide that. So I've done that before, been kind of sneaky. You might see it for just a second while the form loads, and then it disappears. It's available. Another option for that is to use the display business rule, put whatever information you want into the G scratch pad, that gets sent to the client, and then your client script can pick up on what's in the G scratch pad object and trigger off of that and work that. But that's different than this situation. I'm going down rabbit holes this morning. We answered that one. Incidents. I've not seen a response to copying the attachment. I suspect we will see something shortly from that. And it is the bottom of the hour already, where I'm going to take a quick mention that Knowledge is now just about 18 days away. I'm going to double check the calendar. That Knowledge is our big customer event in Las Vegas this year. May 7th through 10th are the dates. And my calendar tells me that it is 18 days away. Wow. I still got a lot of work to do. Internet outages yesterday did not help my efforts to get closer to that goal. There's been a lot done. There's still a lot left to do. We are looking for that application. Hello, Martin from the UK. Wish you were going to Knowledge as well. But hopefully I'll get sent over to London or somewhere else in the UK for a developer meetup in the second half of this year. I'm looking for a bit more international travel as we expand out to that. My colleagues, Dave Slusher, Jason McKee, and some others did a wonderful job in the first half of this year going to India and who knows where else. So let's see if we can get me on a plane and get some travel done later this year. I look forward to that and seeing many of you as well. Where were we going with this? Oh, yes, Knowledge in Las Vegas. About 18,000 people. If you are interested, please be sure to check the CreatorCon checkbox on your profile when you register. If you've already registered and forgot to check it, you can go back in, go to your profile, check the CreatorCon checkbox, and that will entitle you to the sessions, the hands-on workshops, the breakout sessions that are exclusive to and targeted to developers and admins in the CreatorCon context. CreatorCon is our conference within the Knowledge Conference for those technical types, including architects, whether you're enterprise architect, technical architect, an ITOM developer. We've got content for ITOM developers. If you're new to the platform, if you're experienced with the platform, if you're experienced programmer who's new to the platform, you kind of get the idea. It's all about CreatorCon, and we want to see you there as well. If you do check that checkbox, you will get a certain piece of swag that is only available to the CreatorCon people. I don't know at this point whether it's a t-shirt or a gadget or what it is. I just know that there's something special for the CreatorCon attendees. So even if it's just for a piece of swag, check the checkbox. You have a lot more fun. That's it for Knowledge. I think you all get the general idea. You can go to knowledge.servicenow.com to get more information on that. I now want to do the second part of the show, which is to pick up on links that or conversations that we've had previously. I'm going to bring this tab off of that screen and throw it on that one. I love modern browsers where you can just drag tabs all around. This is a thread that came up a while ago, if I remember right, mobile UI actions, 2 years ago, and somebody was trying to get it working on Helsinki, and they said, hey, Chuck, has there been any change to this? I need the feature that says show all replies, because it's lost in here. Oh, that is showing all replies. They said, where is it? Any word, if something like this is supported now. They're working on a mobile app release from Jakarta, and mobile UI actions still don't behave the way they want, and this is a showstopper for them. So my response back to this kind person is no change that I'm aware of at this point. Our mobile strategy, did I spell that right? Strategy, yes, is currently being reviewed and revised based on the acquisition of SkyGiraffe. What was that, last fall? A few months ago. Look for some exciting news about our mobile, around the K18 timeframe. That's all I know, and that's all I can say about that, is we have some really cool stuff. Probably not coming out in, well, I don't know. I honestly don't know if it's going to be London or Madrid timeframe where that's coming out. we will have to keep an eye out for that. All right, another link. That's number 1. Let's go down to calculated related list count. This came up yesterday, I believe, and I'm really kind of disappointed that I didn't see this because would have jumped in. Last evening on my time zone. Hello, experts. I'm trying to get a row count from a related list and populate a field on the form. Makes sense. Is this possible? For example, I need to create a total count of catalog items, 32 in this case, which you can see on the related list tab. It will show you that. Right, shake the cursor so it wakes up. Below the screenshot, and place the value on the UCAT total and SC category table. Please help. So Paul jumped in and said, use a calculated field. Use the calculated script. And good strategy here. He's using glide aggregate, which is, if you're just counting records, please, please, please be sure you're using glide aggregate. He wants to add a query where this is a filter. Glide aggregate is very much like glide record, where you set the a filter to say, don't count all the records, count the ones that match this criteria. So where SC category is that, we add the aggregate count, and this a glide aggregate operates at the database level, so it's very fast when you're just counting records. While grnext could technically be an if grnext, because it's only going to return one row, one count. And category will be your count, and they return that, and away you go. They marked that as correct. Paul said, oh, was I marked correct? Yes, that was the correct answer. Based on, and it was a follow-up to his own thing. He said, hey, you can do this. And they said, well, how do I do that? And he wrote the script, which is very nice when you write a script for somebody. I'm going to try to get a script in today. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but there are a couple questions that require me to think, and I don't know how entertaining that is when we script on the air, or if that's best left for live coding happy hour. The comment I have here, and again, anytime you're joining in the community, make sure you have something to contribute to the conversation. Don't just repeat what they said. I love the answer. I love the answer Paul gave. One note, calculations can be expensive. Consider the case when you show a list. That's why I'm not dictating right now. Of those records, and each one needs to calculate a value. Yes, the value is stored in the record once it's calculated. However, it needs to be refreshed once in a while. Periodically. Especially for records that have not been updated and don't have the calculated value saved. Those older records without a value need to run the script. So it's going to query the database each time you display the record. Thankfully, Paul used glide aggregate instead of glide record to count the rows. So it's not as bad as it could be. But be aware of what you are doing when you ask the database to get records or a count for you, and where that could blow up in your face. Big smiley face. Okay, it's an architectural thing. When you write a script, where is that script going to be run? How many times will it be run? What context could it possibly be used in or abused that could hinder performance? That's all I'm asking. Take a look at it. Think about it. Think about it and think about it. That's your job as the developer, to become a developer architect, is to understand what the architecture is. We have another question about email formatting. Something about Google Docs. I wish when I cursored over the link, it didn't show me the link. It just clicked the link and go there. Because now you're obscuring text that's below with the link. Like, here's where you want to go. Okay, that was not where I wanted to go. That was the HTML sanitizer. That is not the thread. Email attached to incident formatting. Nope, I pasted in the wrong link. It had to do with the HTML sanitizer. What they were doing is the thread was basically when I send an email to ServiceNow, it's got these beautiful tables in it, but when it gets into the comments section, into the activity formatter, the table is destroyed. Take a look. I'm going to go back and find this thread and respond accordingly. Take a look at the HTML sanitizer, again, from the docs. It's what HTML pieces are you whitelisting that don't get scrubbed out of your content. So if you've got HTML in the email, the sanitizer is going to go through and go, no, these aren't allowed because they could be used for nefarious means. And that's a good thing. You want to make sure that your HTML is safe and doesn't destroy the content that's already in ServiceNow or people clicking on links that could take them to crazy places. Here's an example where they're putting in the notes prefix as a URL protocol, and that could potentially launch Lotus Notes for you. Well, if you don't have Lotus Notes, that link's not going to do any good. There is a built-in whitelist, and it looks like, I don't know if this is out of the box, but a lot of the table attributes are already in here. So that might be a wild goose chase on my part. I will look before I respond back to that one. Field value comparison out of two tables. I think this is one that I was going to try and script. Again, we'll see if this actually works. I'm preaching to the choir about knowledge about 10-15 minutes ago. You people are very supportive. There are a lot of people out there that don't know about knowledge, and I just like to make sure that I mention that every day. This is a question about that came up a few days ago. Said they've got two tables and they're trying to compare and see if they have the same value in each table. And I said, well, you would need to do a glide record query and say, okay, here's the record in table A and here's a record in table B. Do you have the same value? And if you don't, they were looking for a difference more than a match, if I understand right, of the status types, the status field, then spit something out and say, hey, these don't match. I need to update them. And Guy Yedweb, who used to be a ServiceNow employee, said, you can take a look at doing this with Explore Analytics using our mashup capability to combine two different reports together. Very nice. You'd create one report on asset table, starting with a unique key from the item, including the script field, and then another report from computer table, starting with the same key. That would work. I am going to write a quick, simple little script. I don't even know if I have my text editor up. I do. Hooray. Let's write a quick script, and I'm going to make this as variable as possible. One table was ALM asset. Set equals ALM. You know what? Let's use some good variable names. Table. And just for fun, let's tell this editor that I am working on JavaScript. I know you can't see that. It's so tiny I can barely see it, but it'll add some color coding. I didn't used to be big on color coding when I was younger. I said, I only need one color. It's green text on black screen. That's all I need for an editor. Then I found as I got older that I made more syntax errors, and this will help find them. I use a single quote on the beginning of this string and a double quote on the end of the string, and suddenly everything changes color and blows up in your face because your quotes don't match. Great visual indicator. So I've come to appreciate color editors. As foo-foo as they used to seem, they're a lot more sensible now. And the other table was computer. We'll just say computer table equals CMDB CI computer. This is definitely not where the dictation is going to help me. All right, let's go through each record. Var asset equal asset gr. Getting some new naming standards. I'm trying to adhere to them. they make a little bit more sense. If I just called everything asset, it wouldn't make sense. But asset table and asset GR, this tells me this is going to be a new glide record from asset table. And I'm going to do asset GR dot query to get all records. I didn't think they had a filter on here. I better go back and read the requirements a little closer. In the computer and asset table, primary status field is available on both tables and values are the same. If we create a record in asset table with the serial number as test1, it will auto-create the same serial number in the computer table and primary status value and same for both tables. Some of the records have some mismatch in the primary status values when we compare to the computer with the asset. We need to find those with a record serial number. So I am going to go through each asset GR. So do that with a next method. Place that down there and get the serial number. I don't know the serial number field, so we're going to have to put a disclaimer in here that they may need to change this. You know, I could find that out. I've got a personal developer instance. I don't know if I have asset management turned on or not. That's the docs. That's the attachment. Let's go into ALM asset.list. It is there. Good. Good, good, good. And we should be able to find out what the serial number field is. It's probably going to be something obvious like serial number. I go to configure dictionary. And configure dictionary will tell me everything about this table. I'm going to make a wild guess that it has number in it somewhere, like serial number. Great. Okay. And I know CMDB CI has serial number in it, so we can continue with that. So let's say, let's see. We want to then get the computer with the same serial number. So computer GR equals new, slow browser, take a drink, let it catch up. Not sure what just happened there. Oh my editor is being very slow. I am out typing it by light years. If that's the case, we may need to find out what's going on that's slowing this computer down. Computer table. It worries me because then I can make typos and not see it for about 5 seconds. Let's go there. And if we want to get to the computer record, computer gr.get serial number. That didn't feel right, so I think I just made a typo. Let's wait and see if this comes up. Oh, hey, I got it. Oh, just an extra underscore. It's funny how you can feel a typo before you see the typo. And use that from ALM. Oh, no, asset GR, sorry. We want to use the value from asset GR serial number. Get value, serial number. Get value, get value, get value. If you've watched this for a while, you'll know there's a reason for that. Don't just say assetgr.serial number. It will come back to bite you. Are my parentheses matched? I have no idea. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Some editors will tell you that. In fact, if I highlight one of these, it should tell me where the other one is. This one isn't one of those nice editors. I've been using the VI editor so much the last couple of days, you might see me start doing things like this. J. Oops, it's not VI. I want to go down. Okay, let's get rid of that so I don't introduce even more syntax errors than I already have. So if you can get the record from the computer where the serial number is the same as that, I could do this with an add query and an if, next, that kind of thing. This is just a shortcut way. Most of the time when you do a get, you're passing a serial number, or excuse me, a sysid, excuse me. You pass a sysid and it will say, can I get this record based on this sysid? And it says sure or no. It returns a true or false. Actually, I think it returns a sysid. I'm not sure. But it will get you that glide record. This does the same thing, but you can use other field names. In this case, I'm using the serial number field. Hello, Chuck. Do you have any idea on why I cannot use the change encryption context function from the glide sys attachment on scheduled job? It runs from background scripts perfectly. Israel, I would recommend putting that into the community. I don't have any immediate ideas on that. My knowledge of encryption is limited but growing rapidly, but I don't have an answer for you on that one specifically. If you put that in the community, you're likely to get some people with more encryption knowledge. And if you still don't get an answer on that, then I would go to customer support. Or if you want to do double threading, you could do both. Okay, now if I get this, I want to say if the, let's make this a little more readable. Let's do, oh, this delay is killing me. I don't even know where the cursor is anymore. Let's save a variable with the computer serial number. I don't want that U in there. This is getting painful. I hope it's not as painful to watch. But I want the computer serial number to be computer GR. No, they wanted the status, right? And I don't know the status field name, so I have to find that. Let's go to the dictionary. Install status, and I believe that's the same name for the. It's the same name in the CMDB CI table. So let's do computer gr.getValue install status. Wait for it. LUE install status. And don't need an extra semicolon on there. I'm going to use the programmer's best friend, as Dave Slusher likes to call it. Copy and paste. Apologies for the delays here. Let's save another one. Asset. Change this one to asset. Just so it's a little easier to read. Otherwise, I'm going to have these big get values in a conditional, and I don't know if that really makes any sense here. If computer status not equal to asset status, I'm going slowly so that I can feel typos like that. Did I interrupt it? Wait for it to finish typing. There. No, it was comp status. I'm going to introduce syntax errors for this poor person who can barely, who may not be able to script very well, and I'm not doing him any favors by making typos. I'm simply going to do a GS info and list those out as another artifact of working in another language. I was using double quotes. I'm generally using single quotes in JavaScript, but other languages use single quotes and double quotes with different meanings, and I got caught by that. GS info, let's see. Let's put out the computer gr.getDisplayValue. We could match them by serial number, but since they both have the same serial number, that wouldn't tell you anything. So if the computer is called laptop 001, it will say that. Then concatenate onto that. Has a different status than, and they'll be able to modify this GS info to be a little more informative to them. Asset gr.getDisplayValue. Okay, that makes sense. Type for me. Slow browser, take a drink. This is like ventriloquism. Look, kids, I can drink and type at the same time. At this point, I'm just going to finish this script in the little scripty editor. Is it slow or do I need a semicolon on there? Copy all, paste. Let's get back to that thread. I know it's been a while. Oh, the thread was over here. Field value comparison. There's the reply, there's the reply, there's a reply. There's guys. Any idea how this should point you in the right direction? Oh, no, don't do it that way. We want the script icon into the sample code, and I really want that to default to JavaScript. How many times are we actually pasting XML into a ServiceNow context? Not often, he says. Okay. Look, it's nice in color. I hit reply to save it, and I lose the color. Boo! All right, that takes us up to just about the end of the hour. Let me see if there's one more quick one that I can do in here. That was script. Duplicates with the same number. That's a script. Incident number updated from incident alert management. That was a script. I could make a whole episode just on script. So I did not get to these last two. I will do my best to get to those. Let's do a quick refresh of the inbox. Make sure that I didn't miss something that has come in while we were typing and talking on the other stuff. Yes? No? Is project status editable? And is there a way to report on the usage of incident case templates? Was this the author? Yes. Responding to my suggestion. Thank you. All right. You are very welcome. If that answered your question, make sure you put that into an answered status. And I answer that so many times that there's just a macro for that. That way other people can find it. If you do get an answer to your question in the community, it's always nice to mark it as answered once it's answered, when you've got it and you say, yeah, that worked for me. That way other people, when they find them and they're doing a search, you will see the little listing, and the ones with the green check boxes are the ones that I usually gravitate towards first to find my answer. Like, yeah, someone got the answer. And then if you don't find the answer that you're looking for, you start going through all the blue ones, which are not answered. They may have some interesting context in them, and they may even in fact have the answer in them, but it's a nice way to tell the rest of the world, I got an answer, and it also takes it off of the unanswered list. So people don't come back later and go, I got an answer for you, and it was already answered, maybe more than once. So again, repeating what's already in there. That takes us to the end of the hour. Thank you very much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you again here tomorrow. Barring any technical issues or personal emergencies, I will be back at 1 p.m. UTC to go through another set of who knows what in the community where we can all learn and share together. Remember, go out there, learn something, share it, and you will be helpful as well. Take care. Have a great day. Bye now.